Hello, it's Mac here, and today I've got a new adversary mode in GTA Online, and this is Collection Time. Now, this was a new adversary mode that was added in the Specter event, and so I want to talk about it in this video and give my sort of thoughts on it and talk about it, and not only the good things about this adversary mode, but also the bad things. There's actually quite a few of them, and I will be discussing those in this video. So, if you're wondering, what is Collection Time? Now, it is a new adversary mode that was added into GTA Online, and essentially it's a deathmatch where at the start of the round, everybody has a bag, and it's going to be in their inventory. And there's also, I think, another one that's in the middle of the map, or at least close to the middle of the map, which you can pick up. And you have to hold on to this bag, but whenever you die, then you will drop this bag on the ground. So now, whenever you respawn, you won't have a bag, and that bag will still be on the ground, so that if a teammate or an enemy picks it up, it will be added to their total scoreboard. And this will essentially be, you want to hold that bag and you want to collect as many bags as possible. You want to collect all the enemies plus hold on to your teammates. And if one of your teammate dies, then they'll be dropped on the floor. So then while your team is holding all of the packages, there will be a 30-second timer where if you hold them all for that 30 seconds and nobody dies and nobody drops the bag, at least, if nobody that's important dies who, actually has a bag equipped, then you will win the round. However, if at least one person drops a bag, then that timer will be reset, and then somebody else can, pick up the bag, and it will go into that. And so, overall, it's a pretty cool adversary mode. I think it's kind of interesting. It's not necessarily the most unique game mode. I think Call of Duty has done this in the past couple of years. I think ever since Call of Duty Ghosts, they've had a game mode sort of similar to this. And so it's kind of fun. I'd say there are those moments where you have multiple bags and then you're just, fending off the final enemies because you're always on the radar in this adversary mode. So there are those moments where you have, half of the bags or, and if you die, then the enemy's going to take all those bags because maybe your teammates are far away from you. And so you're hiding behind cover, you're trying to take out the enemies and then you're getting overrun. So you're doing everything you can. And that is a lot of fun. I love that about this adversary mode, is that if you have a lot of bags, you're going to be hunted a lot more. I wish that, on the minimap, if you had like a bigger target on you. However, I kind of see why that wouldn't be a good idea. And it's kind of because of other bad reasons for this adversary mode. The main one, and I don't understand why Rockstar just didn't put this in the game, is why is there no health packs or any health regeneration in this adversary mode? Maybe there is health regeneration like in the base game, because in the base game you can regenerate your health to half of your health bar. So you can't regenerate all of your health without, taking snacks or something like that, which you can't do in adversary modes anyways. However, you can at least go to your half health, which is decent in the base game. However, in here, it doesn't seem like there's any health regeneration at all. If you're, at like 1 health, you're going to stay at that until you die, which in any other adversary mode may not be the worst thing ever, but in here, where, whenever you pick up a package, you're probably already getting hit by a little bit. So let's say you have 3 packages, and just one shot from, 50 meters away will just kill you instantly. You're going to die. You're at that point, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that is just something that I don't understand why this adversary mode doesn't have. Why doesn't it have any form of health regeneration? A lot of the other adversary modes that, have focused on infantry combat don't have health packs as well, but they at least, I believe, still have health regeneration. So I don't know why this adversary mode doesn't at all. And it kind of ruins this entire adversary mode. And it also means that, if somebody gets those packages, let's say, there's 7 packages in the middle of the map, and you need that to win, well, you're running out into combat, and then by the time you pick them up, you're already close to dead, and then just a few more shots are going to take you out. So there's nothing you can do. Even if you get to cover, it's going to be hard to hold it for those 30 seconds to actually win. So that is just one thing that they really need to do. Also talking about holding it for 30 seconds, I feel like even if you get all the packages, which is difficult in of itself, especially with lots of players, with lower counts of players, which, by the way, this is a 16-player job, which is quite nice. I do like, adversary modes that are higher players. However, whenever you have to hold it, since there's no health regeneration, it is quite difficult because, most likely somebody that has a lot of packages, even if they're behind cover, somebody can just rush them very easily and just take them out with a few shots, especially if they're very low health and their health won't regenerate. So even, getting to the point where you have all the packages is quite difficult, but it can be done, and even with higher player counts. However, the problem is holding it for 30 seconds, it's going to be most likely that a number of your teammates will have at least one package. And if one person dies, even if they only have one package and there's like 15 in play, it's going to reset that timer. I feel like it shouldn't reset that timer if you die and a teammate picks up all your packages. So I feel like if an enemy picks it up, sure, reset the timer. Even if you kill that enemy right after they picked up a package, it should reset that timer to 30 seconds. However, I feel like if somebody dies, it should pause the timer. If an enemy doesn't pick up the package that your teammate had, and if another teammate picks it up, or if you pick it up again, then it should just resume, maybe add a few seconds to it, you know, depending on how long it was on the ground. But if it was just on the ground right there, and then a teammate just picks it up like 2 seconds later, it should just resume the time. And that kind of makes this adversary mode where most of the time, whenever I was playing with lots of players, it would just go into the time limit. Now, whenever it does hit the time limit, what will happen is whoever had the most packages at the end will win. And I feel like it should actually be the majority held. So if your team held, 5 packages the majority of the match, then I feel like it should be more centered around that than just whoever had it at the end. Because let's say somebody on your team has all the packages, and then like right at the end they die, even though you held it for so long, or you had most of the packages on the match, and you held it for so long, then I feel like you should win for that. There's other problems. I feel like the weapon loadouts are a tad bit strange. I wish that there was some better pickups. The only real pickups on the map are an assault shotgun, a special carbine, and a sniper rifle. I don't know why the sniper rifle is only the default sniper. Why not the heavy sniper? I feel like that would have made it a little bit more sought after for a lot of people. Because just the standard sniper, it's so difficult to use because you have to land, 3-4 shots on an enemy or a headshot. And I feel like the heavy sniper wouldn't be too overpowered, but it would at least get people to use a sniper on this map and stay in the back and, take off enemies from afar. Whereas with the standard sniper, it's just so bad that nobody really goes for it. But I feel like the main problem is just the fact that there's no health packs. And you'll find this especially what happens with lots of players, is it just turns into a stalemate. There will usually be lots of packages in this sort of no man's land where nobody goes, and if they do go, they're instantly dead, and then everybody that has the packages just stays in the back of the map. And that's another thing that's annoying, is it's super hard to break lines of defense in this adversary mode because of the fact that there's no health packs. And even if you get a few kills, you're already probably going to be shot up a lot, and you're not going to be able to, regenerate your health. So a lot of the matches just evolve into this no man's land where nobody can get across. And even if you have 14 out of 15 packages, and there's just one enemy in the back of the map that you can't get to because he's being guarded by everybody else, you're not going to win the match until the time limit goes out. And then there's also other problems like bugs. I've encountered many bugs with this adversary mode, much more than most other adversary modes. I don't encounter many with others. However, here, where I've encountered bugs where the score never changes. Even if you die and you had a package from the start of the map, it just will still say that you have a package, and it seems to be a problem for everyone, and nobody will lose any packages. I've also had problems where packages don't show up on the radar, and they just don't show up on your HUD, so it's kind of like this scavenger hunt of where the final package is. I'm sure there's other bugs and problems with this, so it feels like, to me, this adversary mode was just kind of rushed. The only real saving grace of this game mode is that the maps are actually quite decent. They actually are kind of good. They're kind of unique. A lot of them are in areas that have already been, but are kind of different, or even unique, completely unique areas, at least compared to adversary modes, other adversary modes and stuff. So that is one thing that I do enjoy about this. The maps are quite good, but other than that, the adversary mode, there's just so many problems with it that I don't necessarily like it. It's not terrible, but overall I wouldn't say that I'm probably going to go back to it, especially after the double money and RPs away. I don't feel that many people are interested in this adversary mode, and there's just a lot of problems with it. But anyways, let me your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you agree with me, or do you disagree, and do you think that this is an amazing adversary mode? Let me your thoughts on that in the comments. And if you don't like it, what would you change about this adversary mode if Rockstar were to improve it? Let me your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback so appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.